That was the situation. Seeing both sides of the issue, trying to work it's interesting.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mike Taylor, President of the Randolph County Commission. On behalf of my fellow commissioners, Chris C. and Mark Scott, it's our pleasure to welcome you to the Randolph County Commission chambers. Today we have the honor and privilege of having the governor of the great state of West Virginia, ladies and gentlemen, Governor Jim Justice.
Mike, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Governor.
Oh.
I don't think you need a microphone, but if you do.
No, I'll just talk about it, okay?
Okay.
Well, I can get out. Maybe this will be better. Yeah. Okay, will that be better? Okay. Let me tell you this. First, I'm going to give you some real wisdom, okay? There's 3 ways in this world you make a friend. And if you'll just think about this and carry it with you throughout life and everything, this is good stuff. The first thing you've got to do is tell a secret. You've got to make a confession, and you've got to ask a favor. And if you'll follow those 3 things in your life, you know, whether you've just had someone move in and you go over and ask them to borrow some milk. You know, that's the favor. And then you tell them the secret that down the road, Crazy Harry lives down the road. You got to watch out about Crazy Harry. And then you tell them a secret. You know, you make a confession that says, you know, whatever it comes up. Before you know it, you've got a real conversation going on, and things are good. Well, here's my way of beginning my friendship with you. I was out at the road project just a few minutes ago. The most important project we have within our state, Corridor H. And I will promise you there's not a chance that any of you know where I'm going with this, what I'm getting ready to say. But from an economic development standpoint, from growth in this area, from tourism to every kind of potential, it's off the chart. What Corridor H would bring us if we're able to complete it, and we've got to be able to complete it. Now, I'll stay serious just one more second. You know, we're going to continue with our Roads to Prosperity thing. You know, we're building a 7.5 mile stretch now, and then we're going to bump in another 5 miles on our end, and then we're getting closer and closer. And when we get that 5 miles done within our end, that basically should reroute all kinds of traffic to you from the standpoint of just time savings on people coming out of DC. Now, but ultimately what we want to have happen is we want to have this thing all the way through. all the way through Virginia, all the way. Well, President Trump is the key to all that, and his infrastructure program that will be coming, and I think it will be coming within the next 12 months, we'll get another bump. And absolutely, from me to him, you can rest assured that I have never changed my mind in any way. This is the most important project. Now, we have a lot of really, really important projects within West Virginia. The Coalfield Expressways and all the different projects all over the state, Northern Panhandle and everywhere. They're really for real. They're for real important. There's lots of good stuff going on. I mean, Jiminy Christmas. But now let me go back to favor, secret, and confession. As soon as I went inside the building, the trailer, and we got a briefing on all the good stuff that the construction company was doing out there, I came flying out of the thing and jumped in my vehicle. Now, believe it or not, I have actually lost some weight, which is hard to imagine. And my pants are a little baggy. And when I did, the side rear end of my pants hooked onto the seat, and I ripped the whole back end of my pants out. Now, that's the confession and a little bit of the secret. Now, here's what happened from there, and that's why I'm a little bit late here. I tore in the back of my vehicle looking for another pair of pants like crazy, and we couldn't find anything but a pair of shorts. Now, if I'd have walked in here in a pair of shorts, I know you would have thought I was completely crazy. And they looked like they'd been put into a waffle iron and everything because they're just as wadded up as they could be. So then, Pam right here, she's my executive assistant and scheduler and everything, and she comes up with this ingenious idea. She said, what you need is gray duct tape. And so when you see me stand up, the butt end of my pants is all jammed up with gray duct tape. And so if you see that, don't be surprised. Now, if we could get on to the thing at hand here, again, what an area of the world you have here. I'm here a lot. You see me a lot. Sometimes you don't see me from the standpoint of me being up in this area grouse hunting, because I love to grouse hunt. I love to try to wallow along behind my bird dog as best I can. And I've done all kinds of grouse hunting in these woods not far from here. And so again, I've had the opportunity to play basketball games in the D&E buildings, and I've had opportunities to play the Elkins high school teams, and I have had a tremendous interaction with a lot of people from this area. And so, what an incredible community you have, and I will continue to try to do any and everything I can possibly do to help in every way. One of the projects that we have not succeeded on, and I don't know why we can't seem to get this off the bubble, but it's an outdoor theater that you have, and you needed, I don't know, $276,000 or something like that to complete that, and I felt like that we could really find a way to pull that off, and we're still struggling with that from private ownership or whatever it may be, but we've got to be able to continue to try to help and do what we can do. So, but today we've got some grants, and they're, in regard to corrections and in regard to the great work that our judges are doing, and from the standpoint of, and lots of people that are here, I'm sure, today. But we've got grants to 4 counties, and really, at the end of the day, here's what you've got. You've got, we have. And I wish I had, our DMAS guy here, because he can talk about this way better than I. But we have had a situation with corrections that was an absolute meltdown. And he could report the savings, what we've done within corrections, we have created an entirely different roadmap that is absolutely bearing fruit beyond belief. I just don't want to spout out these things, but we were in a situation to where really and truly we were close to chaos. I mean, we had many problems that we were creating within ourselves. We were attracting some characters to the party that were maybe even worse characters than the characters that we were, incarcerating. And so there was many different problems and many spin-offs of it, that have been changed. I'm not versed well enough to give you anything except the 100,000-foot flyby, but truly it is producing results. It is producing, just the scanners that we have at our institutions have cut down on the drug situation phenomenally. The things that we're doing, to try to get people on a better pathway are working. The correctional officers now are, we have filled like 800 jobs. 800 jobs. It's unbelievable and from all of that, there's been net true savings to us. Now that's, government can create a lot of jobs and just pay people to stand around. But it is really an accomplishment when government creates jobs and saves us money and gives us results. And so, now, that's a little off the subject, but it's tied one and the same. Today, these grants are for just this. They're for people that are surely not the worst of the worst, and they've got issues, and they give judges flexibility to be able to help people and get them on the right path. And so, if someone could come up, other than my duct tape, I'm going to probably end up with a wedgie all day today because the duct tape's going to stick to my butt and my pants. And but other than that, if someone could come up and help me, we'll stand and we'll give these away, and it'd be my honor. Okay, if the Tucker County people could come, is there anybody from Tucker County? We've got 120,000 going to Tucker County, and we'll let y'all hold this. I'll stand and, we've got a bunch of beautiful people here. That's great. Okay, you got to hold. Okay. You got to straighten this out now. Understand. Okay. And I'm going to stand behind y'all. Well, okay. All right. Ready? Here we go. Okay, thank y'all so much. Now, if y'all can cash that at the bank, that'd be nice. Thank y'all. Thank you. That's right. Taylor and Barbour County. Somebody can come over here. Okay. I'll stand behind you. Here you go. Okay, y'all got the same dilemma. Drive through a window. Thank you. Randolph. You come right here. Okay. Wait. We're still snapping. Okay, guys. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the great work you do every day. Every day. Mike, thank you again. Thank you again.
Providing photographic evidence.
If y'all, I'm going to go now to Armstrong and go on a tour. And let me just say one thing before I go there. Let me just ask you just a question that I ask a bunch of educators yesterday. I said, what is my job? What do you think my job is? You know, and I'm going to answer the question for you. You know what my job is? My job is one thing, the way I see it, and that is to bring prosperity to West Virginia. My job is not necessarily to see which grant can be given, which road can be fixed, which raise can be given, what benefit can change. Naturally, that is all my job, but it is somewhere down the totem pole. You see, at the end of the day, my job is to do one thing, the way I see it, and that is all bottom line. You know, when I walked in, whether you love me or you hate me, when I walked into the party, like it or not like it, but this state was in tough shape. I'm a business guy. The books would tell any business person on the planet we were bankrupt. And where are you going to turn? The rainy day fund had been drained to a point in time where our bonds were being derated. Well, when your bonds are derated, in all honesty, you start paying big interest premiums. So you couldn't take money on a rainy day. Where were the jobs going to come from? What was going to happen? You're standing there looking at somebody that's looking right in your face saying, you're $500 million short. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You got a state that was already losing population. What are you going to do? Remember my job. My job is just this. My job is to get the numbers going in the right way where that our citizens can enjoy prosperity in many ways. Now, that's my job. That's the only reason that I came to this office, the only reason that I ran, period. I don't want a thing, I've never wanted a thing. There's nothing you can give me. Nothing. You can't give me ego status, money, hot tip. You can't give me in the next election, the highest office. There's nothing you can give me. Now, that's what we should all dial into. Now, as we make things better, there is so much more we can do. There is so much more we can do. We have literally, and I'm not tooting my horn because I truly believe it's a miracle from God above. I do. I truly do. It's just unbelievable what has happened to this state. The numbers have completely flipped. The numbers, instead of being just dadgum awful, red, terrible in debt numbers, have all changed. And not only has that all changed, but our bonds have been moved up instead of moved back down. You know, and not only all that, now you got jobs, and you got jobs all over the place. And you know what happens? Here's exactly what happens. We're going to close our books out for June to June last year with that, for the first time since 2012 in which we didn't cut budget, we are going to end up with a surplus budget of $32.5 million or some number like that. $36 million, I'm sorry, $36 million. Now, when you do that, you're compelled to put half of it back in the rainy day fund, and then there's $18 million that's available to us. $18 million in West Virginia is giant money. $36 million is giant money. Now, and I want you to do one favor for me. Dial in to what happens month to month, when the numbers come out. Because the numbers spin into everything we want. Every single thing we want. That's my job. My job is to make you have opportunity. My job is to try to bring goodness to our state. And things are happening, and they're happening in a really good way.
And I love you, and I mean I love every one of you. Nobody here could love West Virginia more than me. There's no way on the planet. And I'm not a politician. I'm a guy that deals in fact and truth. That's it. That's all there is to it. Somebody may write some crazy stuff and whatever, and that's okay. You know, but I am telling you, I'm going to tell you the truth. And at the end of the day, what I want you to always remember is just this, is, you know, we just did a 5% pay raise across the board to all state employees. Could you do that? Could you do that if you were bankrupt? You can't do it, can you? You can't even consider it. No one would even ask for it. You know, all the different things that are happening right in front of you, right in front of you. You know, they're good things. And you know what? You deserve it. That's the thing, you deserve it. You're West Virginians, the greatest state in the country, in my opinion. The very best people in the country, faith-based, good people, people that know the difference between right and wrong. You are the best. That's all there is to it. You're the blooming best. And for too long, we've been beat down into thinking that, well, we're supposed to accept this, whatever it may be. So I'm telling you, as the numbers come in, watch them close. You know, my job is just that. That's how I see my job. Now, the last thing I would tell you, a long time ago, a man in a company, a private company, you know, he had been bought out by a bigger company. He was a seed corn company. It was Stanford Seed Corn. His name was Jim Billings. And the people that bought Stanford Seed Corn out, I forget if it was Northrop King or a bigger company. And they said, Jim, we're going to retain you, but we want you to write a job description of what you do every day. And he sat down and he started writing. He said, I'd written 13 pages. And then I just laid my pen down and picked it up and said, wrote, see the right person's in the right job and they're motivated. Well, you see, when it really boils right down to it, things can get real simple and they can get real straightforward. We had to get West Virginia moving, and it's moving. And we have to do it in a way that is correct to our environment and our water and all the good stuff. You have a thing right now that's in front of the President of the United States. The President of the United States of America, right this minute. And we're going through it, not every day, but nearly, in regard to trying to find a way to bring furniture manufacturing, cabinetry, flooring, right back to the United States, and a big chunk of that could come right back to West Virginia. And there's a way to really do it. There's so many good things happening and everything, and I'll leave you with my duct tape, and I'll leave you saying that I mean this when I tell you that I love you, and God bless you, and thank you for all you've done for ever and a day. So, have a great day, be happy, and don't look my way. Thank all of you. See y'all.
Nice to meet you too. I'll tell Mom that you said. I will. No problem.
I last one on Tuesday.